What's up? It's Dr. Will James, Dr. Will James Podcast. If you're new here, don't know what to do here, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Please share this with one or two people trying to grow the channel. It helps the algorithm. Don't forget to hit that like button. So today we're talking about this clip I saw last night with Lamont Hill. This guy, Mr. Pittz or whatever his name is, he created a religious university. It's not a real university. It's not accredited. He's saying that it's religiously accredited by some religious institutions or whatever. It's not accredited by any credible institution to where you could transfer credits to, say, another school like that is accredited by, national institutions, like transfer credits to a USC, a NYU, a St. John's, a Howard University, whether HBCU or PWI. You can't transfer credits from this institution to a nationally accredited institution. So it's not credible. This guy says that the college he started in May of 2026. So that's 2 months ago. He just started this college. He's going to say that they have around 250 students. And he's also going to say that it's $75,000 to get like a degree from the school. So that's very expensive. I think he did this, and Marc Hill is going to bring this up, that he did this to bring attention to the university that he started, or college or university that he started, for financial gain. He's awarding her a doctoral degree from the institution, and it started 2 months ago. And then he's saying he attached a transcript. How is there a transcript for a student who didn't attend the college? He doesn't know her. She didn't attend the college. You don't attach a transcript for an honorary degree. An honorary degree is based on a person's accomplishments, their expertise, and things that they've done in the field. You don't just give someone an honorary doctorate and attach a transcript. A transcript is for coursework. That's when someone actually attended a university and they have grades. So if a person doesn't even have grades, how you attach a transcript? It just doesn't make any sense. So Marc Hill is trying to be fair with this dude. He's trying not to call him an idiot and throwing ad hominem and stuff like that. It's very difficult. You're going to see. But let's watch it.
In himself, who could help us understand what's going on. So joining us right now is Bishop Pittz, who is the president of the university in question. Bishop Pittz, thank you for joining me. And thank you especially for joining me on short notice. I think I lost your audio there. There we go. Can you hear me now, Bishop?
You're welcome. Yeah, thanks for having me, Dr. Hill.
It's a pleasure. Please call me Marc. I'm not into the titles too much. Causes problems.
So that's a key point right there. So Marc Hill has a doctorate, but he doesn't care for the title. Now, some people don't care to be called doctor, as their prefix and things like that. Me as an educator, me being who I am, I think it's important because the title does represent education, and I actually went through the coursework to obtain my doctoral degree. I use it, again, to inspire the youth. And when they see me, it says something. Just even as a Black man in society, when you talk to people sometimes when people, they perceive you one way, like how I'm dressed right now, if I'm not wearing a suit, if I'm not dressed formal attire, sometimes people will talk to you crazy or come at you crazy or make assumptions and things like that. It even happened to me when I attended my university sometimes. So sometimes you just throw out your title out there to let them know who they're talking to. But right there, he's saying, I don't care too much about it. I know who I am. I know my credentials. He's obviously more popular than a lot of people who have a doctorate too. So he's more out there. He was a professor at Columbia and things like that. So then when you reach a certain level, I could say, also allows you to do what he's doing now.
Okay.
So, talk to me. I'm sorry, we live, so I'm working out the light situation as we talk.
Okay.
First of all, what is the institution that you are president of?
Indiana Southwest Christian University is an institution that I am the president of. It's a private Christian university. It's not like secular universities that offer a vast array of subjects like business and biology. It only offers subject matters that pertains to fields in ministry, spiritual counseling, theology, Christian education, church administration, sacred music, Christian art, canon law, church communications, spirituality, and social work. So it's Christ-based. It's not a secular-based institution.
So he just said everything related to Christianity. He just said everything related to religion. But he's going to award her a doctor of psychology, and they don't even focus on that at the school. It's a religious-based school, which allows them to get religious exemption, just like a church, just like a mosque, just like a synagogue. Religious places, they get religious exemption, tax exemption, things like that. Certain benefits comes along with it because there's a separation between church and state. We know that from the Constitution. We know certain things. This is basic things. So he created that, and he's calling it a school. All you got to do is have certain coursework that you're claiming, go over it with people. You can have 2 or 3 professors. We don't know how many professors he has at this school. It could be online coursework that he created and say, if you do this, you're going to get an A, B, C, or D or F in this course. And then, I'll award you a degree. So this is completely erroneous. It's ridiculous.
Continue, please. I didn't mean to interrupt.
So we only offer religious-based degrees, and we are recognized by the state of Indiana. I believe I've sent your team official documentation from the state of Indiana recognizing our university. So Dr. Bryant's false claims that we're not registered or recognized in the state, I just want to provide education. So a religious institution or a private Christian university can apply for religious exemption that allows them to operate without any formal secular accreditation. And in regard to receiving federal student aid funds, there are certain institutions that choose not to participate in that process, and so they go by a process of religious exemption. So
Gotcha.
What we have is official religious exemption from the state of Indiana, which we provided a copy of the letter to your team. If you don't have it, I'll resend it.
Yeah, I have it right here. Let me pull up this letter, because as I'm trying to zoom it in for my audience here. But as I'm reading said letter, it explains what religious exemption is, and it says that it will allow organizations and institutions to be exempted if they have a clearly religious nature, which you're saying you all are. The one thing that it seemed to me, though, that came up at the end of the letter, if I'm not mistaken, is that they will now review your case to see if they will give you the exemption. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct. What the letter, based on my interpretation, stated that if there's anything that modifies with the curriculum that we are disseminating, there will be a further review, because the curriculum has to be strictly religious in nature in order for us to receive the religious exemption.
Okay. So as of now, you're saying that the organization has been granted a religious exemption and is accredited by the Indiana's Commission on Higher Education.
What I'm stating is that we have been granted a religious exemption by the state of Indiana, as verified in the letter. In regard to accreditation, we have accreditation, but it is not recognized by the United States Department of Education. There is no actual mandate. There is actually no mandate of accreditation. We are not mandated to have accreditation recognized by the United States Department of Education. There's also religious institutions that specifically object to secular accreditation, but we do have accreditation, but it's not recognized by the United States Department of Education. However,
So your school is not recognized by the United States Department of Education. That is going to matter. Accreditation matters when you want to go get a job. Accreditation matters when you're speaking in front of people to your level of professionalism. Accreditation matters if you want to transfer credits to another school and further your education. So that's like someone getting a nursing degree from a school that's not accredited. It's not accredited by the United States Department of Education. When they want to go to a school, a hospital, and get a job as a nurse, they're going to say, "Okay, send over your transcripts. What school did you attend?" And if you say you attended a school that's not accredited, you're not going to get the job. You're not going to meet the criteria for the job. If you went to a school and you got a law degree, and then you apply to a law firm, and they say, "Okay, what school did you attend? Send over your transcript." Or when they're looking over your resume and they see that your school isn't accredited, you're not going to meet the criteria for the job. They're going to say you need a certain amount of credits. Even if you pass the bar, they're going to say you need a certain amount of law credits from an accredited institution. So accreditation matters for what they're doing. And they're talking about theology and Christianity. These are people who just want to be able to say, "Oh, I have a doctorate degree." Yeah, from what institution? Because most people don't follow up with that. From what institution did you get it from? Is it accredited? How much, like things like that. Like, man, you can be autodidactic and you can know a lot. You can be self-taught. There are plenty of people who didn't go to school for theology and they know a lot of things related to hermeneutics. They're very savvy and knowledgeable when they're as it pertains to uh, biblical texts, the Quran, uh, you know, several different things, all right, they can know about. But this guy just acting like it's nothing that the school isn't accredited is crazy. Like that they're not recognized by the Department of Education.
There is no law mandating accreditation.
Okay, understood. So you are not accredited, but you are exempted from those by the accredited organization, and you're standing in that as a principal choice, not as like a we're not good enough to be accredited. You're saying we're not based on our religious nature.
No, we are accredited, but we're not accredited by secular accreditation that's recognized by the United States.
By the people that accredit. So just so our audience understands, I'm not trying to nitpick and then I'll move on. Most universities are accredited by certain bodies. Y'all aren't accredited by those bodies. Y'all are accredited by somebody.
Yeah,
else.
those are called. Yeah, I'm very familiar with that. They're classified as regional accrediting bodies. We're not accredited by regional accrediting bodies for two reasons: due to our religious beliefs and because there's actually no law mandating accreditation.
Okay, fair enough.
But we are accredited by a religious form of accreditation that accreditates religious degrees.
Understood. I have here a copy of Dr. Bryant's doctoral diploma.
Yeah, doctorate degree.
Yeah, doctoral degree. I'm sorry, but it's a diploma. But yeah, it's a doctoral degree for sure. I mean, it's definitely paper. And it says Indiana Southwest Christian.
It's definitely paper. Anybody can make that. Anybody can make that and get a seal. Like, come on now.
University hereby confers upon Cheyenne Bryant psychology. So on your web, on the email you sent, you all offer Doctorate of Education and Doctor of Philosophy, correct?
Correct.
But here on the paper, it doesn't say that. It says Doctor of Psychology.
That is correct. So for this particular case, we decided to offer a Doctor of Psychology degree to theocentric psychology. This particular case is a very profound case. Just to give some background on why I even made this decision, it's because this has been talked about matter for for a consecutive amount of years. And I took the initiative upon myself because she has.
So what he's doing is essentially illegal. His school, he tried to get his school recognized and get tax exemption because they're religious schools, strictly religious. You heard him say that in order to be exempt, they have to be strictly religious in their and what they're teaching, their framework, their classwork, things like that. And he's giving out a doctorate in psychology. You can't do that. There's no coursework under your school for a doctorate in psychology. Psychology isn't strictly religious. This doesn't make any sense by what he already said. This guy is a nut.
2 honorary doctorate degrees. I took the initiative upon myself to give her a earned doctorate degree. In her interviews that she possesses online, she says, I'm a doctor of psychology. If you go back to her previous video, she says, I'm a doctor of psychology. I'm a doctor of psychology. So that was the primary reason why the degree is classified as a doctor of psychology, because I wanted to validate her self-fulfilled prophecy. And also is there are individuals.
You wanted to validate her self-fulfilled prophecy? That makes no sense. That's like me coming online if I were to be a liar and say, okay, I'm a doctor in psychology. I'm a medical doctor. I could say I'm any type of doctor, and you're going to send me a certificate from your fake institution affirming that I'm a doctor in that, even though I haven't proven it. I just said it. That makes no sense.
Who doubted the validity of her degree. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to step up and I'll grant her a degree. And now there's proof that she actually has a degree.
So doctors, your university doesn't give doctors of psychology, but you've given one, and that one is to Cheyenne Bryant because of her self-fulfilled prophecy.
No, we provide doctor of psychology degrees, but it's rare that students elect to pursue that degree.
How many doctors of psychology have you given ever?
Only one. So literally the university was created.
And who's that one? Is it Cheyenne Bryant?
Cheyenne Bryant. The university was just established in May of 2026. So in regard to Dr. Bryant's narrative about the school not being registered, it was just started in May of 2026.
So if your school was started in May of 2026, what degrees have you given to anyone? Cheyenne Bryant should be the first degree that you awarded as an honorary degree or any type of degree. In 2 months, no one has completed any amount of coursework that can allow them to earn a degree. In 2 months, you can't earn an associate's degree, you can't earn a bachelor's degree, you can't earn a master's degree, you can't earn a doctoral degree. If someone so-called transferred over to your school and they already had credits, 2 months still isn't even a full semester. We all know when you're in school, it's fall and spring semester, and then they have, if you go for the short extra credits, they have winter. During winter break, they have a winter semester where that's like 3 weeks, and then they have a summer semester that's like 3 to 4 weeks. So 2 months isn't enough time for someone to obtain enough credits to graduate from anywhere. So this is just showing that this makes no sense. Like, what type of coursework do you have there? This school he so-called created, seems like he created it just because of what he saw Dr. Cheyenne Bryant going through in the last 2 months. Her whole situation started around, I think, 3 months ago. And now he comes up with an institution in May that he created that's a religious institution, and he gives her a degree. Oh my God, mental illness is real.
So it's not going to have any type of standing online. It was just established in May of 2026.
How many doctors have you given out total since May?
Only one.
So in the history of this school, which started
in May
8 weeks ago,
yes,
you've given out one degree, and that is to Cheyenne Bryant. So if you've only been open for 8 or 9 weeks, how have you been able to do an earned doctorate? I mean, I understand an honorary doctorate because that's based on life contributions, social contributions, status, etc. But an earned doctorate is usually done through coursework. You couldn't do coursework in 2 months.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with what's required of an earned doctorate. It usually takes 4 to 6 years.
Yeah.
But as a private Christian university, we actually reserve the right to waive traditional policies and procedures. So how we conducted that particular decision was we initiated a process called prior learning assessment and credit for prior learning. And what that is that's an assessment on one's previous work in the field of psychology or theocentric psychology. And that is a process where we grant credits based on their vocational experience, their career background. There was also a forensic analysis conducted on the therapy sessions and life coaching sessions conducted by Cheyenne Bryant, and she has approximately 20 or more publicly available. And we made the assessment based on her prior learning and her work in the field of psychology to provide her with this Doctor of Psychology and Theocentric Psychology degree. It's a very rare occurrence, but because it's a very controversial subject matter, we decided to take the step up and give her what she rightfully earned. We were compelled by her story about Arkansas University not providing transcripts, not having records. So we stepped up and gave her transcripts and her degrees.
Did you attempt to get her, when you applied, did you look at any of her transcripts?
I didn't actually have access to her transcripts. I didn't have access to her transcripts.
Why not?
That is a very tedious process to even acquire someone's transcripts. I have to contact previous universities. But what we did was made aware of is that she does have.
You just go online and you type the name. You type the name. You enter it. You give them, like, I think, a small fee. It takes about 5 minutes.
Yeah, unfortunately, we wasn't able to do that. However, we are aware that she does have a master's in psychology from the University of Phoenix, based on the viral Netflix video that she posted. If you look closely in the background, you see her master's of psychology degree. What we did
affirmed her master's degree by zooming in on a Netflix video.
Yes. She claims on her.
So this is Dr. Marc. This is Marc Monthill's way of showing him that he sounds stupid. You are confirming someone's degree, their level of education, by what they have on their wall, by zooming in on a video that they posted online. I can make any type of plaque. I can make any type of credentials and put my name on it, make it look very real. All of this is paper. You have to go through a school. You have to go through an institution to confirm it. I can make it look very real. You can get all types of paper. You can get the seals. All of these things can be ordered. All right. We all know how to write in bold and use different font to make a degree, a diploma look real. So you're not saying anything. Now, if you come online and you know, it being on the wall is not even significant. If someone were to come up here and put it right in front of your face and say, hey, this is my degree from such and such, now they're saying it. Then certain things could be tied in legally, because then you affirm that you had a degree from a certain place, and then legally we can decide if that's true or not. And you can't just lie and say you have certain credentials. That's how we got to this point. So then people will say now that she's claiming from this place to this place. I do believe she has a master's degree from the University of Phoenix. Now, the University of Phoenix it gets flack because it's an online institution, but they are accredited. It's an accredited institution. So she actually has a master's in psychology or counseling from the University of Phoenix. She should just use that in furtherance of her PhD. Go to school for another 3 to 5 years and obtain a doctorate. It's that simple. But if you didn't do that, then stop claiming to have it.
Public biography that she has a master's in psychology from University of Phoenix. And when you look on the video, you'll see it. Also, we did confirm her attendance at the doctoral level of her participating in courses at Arkansas University as a doctor, as there are various students who stated that she was in the same class. So that's verification that she attended doctoral level classes at Arkansas University.
So he said we did confirm it. Who's the we? This guy is going to tell you that he's the president and vice president at this school. He's probably it's like out of a movie. He's the president, vice president, the secretary. He's the professor. He's all of this. He's the only person who works for this institution. Like, what are you talking about? You confirmed it because you saw people online saying like, oh yeah, I went to school with her. She was in class with me at Argosy. That's not confirmation. Confirmation is calling an institution, which you can't get in touch with anyone at this institution because it's closed. You have no way of really confirming what you're saying. I could pay people to say that they were in school with me at Harvard. You're not confirming it if you don't speak to someone from the institution to confirm my enrollment, to say Dr. William Deion James attended this institution from this year, from this date to this date. Like, this guy makes no sense.
So that was one of the determining factors. I'm not aware. I'm not aware of that, but however, based on her competence.
Good question. He just asked him, how do you know she passed the courses? Even if someone is confirming that she was in the classes, this is why you need to speak to someone from the institution. This is why you need a transcript validation. Just because someone was in a course doesn't mean they passed the course, which if you don't pass the courses, you don't get a degree. This guy makes no sense. This guy makes no sense.
She attended all the classes and didn't pass any of them.
Based on her competency level and her aptitude level demonstrated in the videos, we're pretty sure that she passed the courses.
Are you a psychologist?
I am a therapist. Are you?
He's not a psychologist. So that right, it's over. You're not a psychologist. A therapist is different, similar to psychology, but it's not a psychologist. So you're a therapist, and then you're saying just based on seeing her speak, and her being able to be fairly articulate when she's speaking about certain things related to psychology, you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure she has a doctorate. That is so stupid. This guy is so stupid. I gotta go main screen. This guy is so stupid. He just said that based on how she articulates herself online pertaining to certain things where it's talking about psychology, even though he's not a psychologist and he's not a psychology expert, he thinks that she passed her classes, her doctoral level classes at Argosy University. You can't make this up. This guy is next. Something's wrong with this guy. This guy's dumb. He just wants attention. He's trying to sell his university. He's just giving away a doctorate now and saying stupid stuff. He hasn't confirmed anything, doesn't have a transcript. He's never spoken to her. This doesn't fall on her. This falls on him. This guy is just seeking attention, and he looks crazy. And he's talking about he's a therapist. He needs therapy. Like, this is ridiculous.
Are you trained as a psychologist?
I am trained as a psychologist.
I pay attention to what people say. I'm trained as a psychologist. How so? He probably took 1 or 2 psychology courses. That's like me saying I'm trained as a psychologist because when I got my doctorate in education, even when I got my master's, I have a dual master's in secondary ed and history. We had to take psychology courses on educational psychology, and we had to look at Piaget and Skinner and all these different psychologists, Sigmund Freud and stuff. We had to look at these stuff. So that's like me saying I'm trained as a psychologist. What does that mean? I'm not a psychologist. Like,
so what do you look for? Because I'm not. That's what I'm asking. So what do you look for to know if someone has demonstrated competency in the field?
So number one, are you presenting psychological theories? Are you talking about behavioral theories? Are you demonstrating ideas about personality? Are you demonstrating ideas about motivation? Are you providing solutions to behavioral issues that exist? Now, what we will say is...
And when did she do that? What psychological theories did she bring out, did she discuss? I've never seen her discuss anything that I couldn't discuss or that I didn't already know. And I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not a doctoral level psychologist, because you're talking about the highest level of the field. Like, this is not making any sense. She's never once talked about her doctoral research. She's never mentioned the title of her dissertation, which doctors do. Like, this is not making sense.
She may not be an elite psychologist, but there are certain factors such as the solutions that she provided to couples. She
Would
did
you consider an expert? Would you consider an expert or below an expert?
I'm going to say that she's competent in the field of psychology.
Okay. But the reason I ask is because you gave her a doctorate degree. So if you're not an expert or not elite, then why would you get a doctorate degree in it?
Well, I'm not implying that she's not an expert. I never said that she's not an expert, but
you're not saying she is.
I am not qualified to make that determination.
You're the president of the university that gave her the degree, and you're saying you're a doctor, you have a doctorate, and you're in psychology, and you're a trained therapist. So if you're not qualified to do it, then how are you qualified to give her the degree?
I'm definitely qualified to give her the degree. As far as an expert,
How are you qualified to give her the degree?
I'm the president of the university. We made the executive decision. It's within our right. We're a private Christian
I know you have
university.
the right to do it, but we're talking about like qualification in terms of expertise and knowledge. You're saying you're not qualified to assess whether she's an expert or not.
The reason
but you
why
gave her a degree.
the reason why I state that is because I firmly believe, as someone who is a psychologist, that you should have a presidential position in the American Psychological Association to make that determination, as that's usually made during licensure, and they validate the aptitude and the eliteness and the competency levels and the informational techniques on whether or not you're profound in your field, because there's a difference between earning a doctorate and being licensure. Those are two different things.
Oh yeah, we went down the licensure road, Doc. I'm with you. We agree wholeheartedly on that. Where did you get your doctorate from?
I got my doctorate from Northwestern Christian University. I also have another one from Atlanta College of Liberal Arts and Sciences.
Okay. And your doctorate is in what?
I have a doctorate in counseling and a doctorate in business administration.
Okay. Is that you?
See, this guy is the reason why people don't care too much about titles. This is the reason why someone like myself doesn't focus too much on the title. Again, I use it to inspire others, but you can have a doctorate and be a flaming idiot. This guy's claiming that he has 2 doctorates and he's an idiot. Clearly, we see he's an idiot. Like he's not making a bit of sense here. And Marc Lamont Hill is taking it easy on him. Somewhat taking it. He's making him explain himself. Like I like the questions he's asking and things like that. But he's not like just he's doing the right thing. He's not flat out saying you're an idiot. He's exposing it through questions. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, oh, fair enough. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's some nonsense. I hear what you're saying. It's that type of thing. It's like, what do you say to this when someone's making no sense? Even asking him questions right now. He's about to ask him about the school he just named. The school he just named where he got his first degree it's not accredited. He's going to ask him, is it like the school that you made? And it's exactly like that. It's not an accredited school recognized by the United States Department of Education. So it's like you don't have it.
Versus similar to the one that you run now?
No.
The one you got your counseling degree in, is it accredited?
It is accredited.
By whom?
That I don't work for Northwestern Christian University. I only attended there. I don't know.
Is it one of them regional ones that most schools have, or is it like a religious one? That's what it is.
It's a regional accredited. It's a regionally accredited institution.
Okay.
No, it's not. Everyone can look it up. No, it's not.
Cool. And when did you get it?
I got it in 2021. I also have a postgraduate degree in educational psychology from Liberty University. I'm pretty sure you probably heard of Liberty University.
That one I've heard of.
Okay.
That one I've heard of.
Okay.
Yeah. So how did you connect? And then I'll ask you about Jamal Bryant. How did you connect with Dr. Because there's a lot of Bryants here, a lot of Dr. Bryants here. How did you connect with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant? How did this happen?
How did this occur was I did a qualitative research on who was speaking about Cheyenne Bryant. So what I did was I looked online, who's talking about Cheyenne Bryant, who's releasing press releases about Cheyenne Bryant. One of the most notorious media platforms that was discussing about Cheyenne Bryant was Dr. Jamal Bryant.
So he tried to make it seem like he did something profound. I did qualitative research on who was discussing it. That means all you did was look at her interviews. Stop trying to act like you did something real and you really did research and stuff like that. Like, what are you talking about? There's qualitative and quantitative research, and he's trying to use these terms to try to make himself seem more articulate and more educational. You sound crazy as I don't know what. All he just said was he watched her interviews. And one of the most popular interviews was the one that she did with Dr. Jamal Bryant. So all he really just said.
So I decided to send him an email and inform him of what occurred. Also, it was very personal because I didn't really believe in his behavior and his decision-making. He's a pastor. And so for him to criticize Dr. Cheyenne Bryant about and speculate on whether or not she had a degree, I don't think that was Christ-like, as that's a huge contradiction in the Christian tenets. You're not supposed to deteriorate and And
So he's lying. He's saying holding someone accountable is not Christ-like. That makes no sense. And Marc Lamont Hill, he's not trying to be combative. He's just he's just interviewing him. So he's not trying to debate him. But you can see he wanted to, if this was a debate, he'd be like, I could debate that. I could push back on that's not Christ-like, or it's not one of the Christian tenets. Like people like him get on my nerves. Like, what are you talking about? That's just false. You're not supposed to deteriorate or talk bad about a fellow Christian. You're not supposed to hold your fellow Christians accountable. That's a lie. John 7:24 debunks that. It says, give righteous judgment, to judge righteously. This is righteous judgment. Everyone is saying you are not an actual doctor in psychology. You cannot prove it. She said herself she cannot prove it. She doesn't have access to the transcripts from Augustine University. There's nothing wrong with saying you're not a doctor in psychology. You shouldn't call yourself that when it is in fact true. So this guy doesn't make any sense.
Be derogative towards your fellow Christian. So I didn't necessarily agree with that stance. But because he took the stance on, apologize about placing her on the platform. Because he took that stance, I want to provide him with the information. Hey, here's the proof. She has the degree.
So basically, you
how stupid is he to that interview? That was about when he came and said that he's not. He apologizes for platforming her because his sister was the head of the American Psychological Association, was the former president of the American Psychological Association, and he takes it seriously when people are claiming to have a doctorate in psychology and they don't have it. So he apologized for that. That was about 2-3 months ago. All right, that was a while ago. You bringing this back up now and you saying you didn't like that is just crazy. It makes no sense what he's doing here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's hard for me to understand and follow his train of thought. This is so dumb. He's saying, oh, here's the proof she has the degree. You are now trying to present new information. This would make sense if she had a degree 5-6 months ago. If she had a doctoral degree. So it doesn't even make sense. You're trying to present new information. In his mind, the logic that he's following is, okay, I'm going to award her a degree and I'm going to send her a transcript. So now, hey, what are the haters going to say? She has a degree, even though she didn't get a degree from she didn't get a degree from an accredited institution, or she may not have proof that she has one from Augustine University, which is the one that's in question. I'm going to give her one from my institution that I made after all of the commotion, after all of the, assertions and things like that. My institution was founded in May of 2026. Months after this started, I'm going to give her a degree from this school that says, hey, all you haters, shut up. She has proof now that she has a degree in psychology. What sense does that make? Like, what's wrong with this dude? What is wrong with this dude? This dude's logic is, hey, everyone be quiet. I have proof. I'm going to give her proof. Even though my institution was founded in May of 2026, long after this all started with, people questioning her credentials, long after the Breakfast Club interview that went viral and stuff like that, long after Dr. Jamal Bryant said what he said about, apologizing for having her on the platform, he's going to award her a degree that shows that she has a doctorate in psychology, even though she never attended the school and she doesn't even know him. This guy, something's wrong with him. This is ridiculous.
were saying if she don't have a degree, instead of crapping on her, we're gonna get her the degree.
We're gonna get her a degree because she's our sister, and what occurred, what the narrative that she projected is unfortunate. I'm not someone who's going to try to fact check on whether or not what she said is true or not. That's not my job. What she said was there was.
It is your job to fact check what she said is true. You can't just go sending around people certificates from colleges or from your fake made up college that's not accredited from the United States. You can't just go doing that and saying, I'm not going to fact check whether they have a degree, whether they have certain credentials or not. It is your job if you want to be taken seriously. Like, what's your problem?
It's a university who fraudulently manipulated her. And not at one time did no one step up and say, this is our sister. We're going to try to help you get your degree, or we're going to try to help retrieve your degree. Instead, the masses criticized her, and not one university stepped up and gave her an earned degree.
So you can't give someone an earned degree without them earning it. This guy is ridiculous. You can only give someone an honorary degree. You earn your degree by earning your degree. That's why it's called earned. You go to school, you take the courses, you pass the courses, you earn the credits towards your degree. Then once you complete all of your coursework, all of your training, then you get your diploma, you get your doctoral degree. Usually you write your dissertation, you do your dissertation defense, you pass, then you get your degree. What are you talking about? You don't even have proof. He's saying that a school fraudulent. No, the school closed. She was doing her coursework. She didn't finish. The school closed. What are you talking about? She didn't finish in time. So if she actually has credits, she can go online and get her transcript. Then use that, since it was accredited at the time. She can use those credits, apply to another doctoral degree program, enter that program. They will fish out which credits they can use and apply, and then she can continue her education and then finish an actual doctoral degree. What are you talking about?
For two, they gave her a honorary doctorates, but not one stepped up and said, hey, we could attempt to acquire the transcripts in the National Student Clearinghouse and see what type of credit she got and grant her access, grant her credits. Nobody stepped up. Instead, they just criticized.
Let me raise a hypothetical, and it's just a hypothetical. Okay. If she doesn't have the degree and she wasn't telling the truth, how would you feel?
I will forgive her. Because
would you want to give her this degree that you gave her?
Yes, because of her circumstances. She possessed. Go ahead.
No, please.
She endured extenuating circumstances. I cannot verify if she had the earned degree from Argosy, but what occurred to her was very devastating. And I know if it was me that occurred, my heart would be broken. And so this has been a very.
This guy's slow. What occurred to her if she's lying? Nothing happened to her. Nothing devastating happened to her if she's lying, even if she's telling the truth. So I don't even know what he's talking about. By her own testimony, she went to Argosy University. The school closed. She doesn't have access to all her transcripts. Like, what are you talking about? Like what are you saying? Like, if she finished at Argosy University, you finished. You have your dissertation you have access to. You still have access to the transcripts. They can't do that. If you finish, you have access to your transcripts. There's several things to where she could prove that she had a degree if she actually had it already. If she didn't finish at Argosy, she doesn't have the doctoral degree that she claims she has. So this guy makes no sense. You should feel stupid if it were to come out that she was lying, because you're sitting up here saying she deserves a degree because she was wrong and then she doesn't have it. He's saying, oh, well, I would still feel good because, she had some extenuating circumstances and, it was sad, it was controversy. So you're now going around giving like empathy degrees away. It's fake. This is a fake school.
Controversial issue. And I just wanted to attempt to assist and provide support where I can as the president of Indiana Southwest Christian University. And it's unfortunate because that could have been a situation where she probably stopped her studies at all. She probably just stopped, because when you look at her,
have you spoken to her directly?
No, I have spoken to her directly. Yes, I have actually spoken to her directly. Have you spoken to her
directly since the school's been open?
No.
Okay, so you've just spoken to her in life. You haven't spoken to her as president of the university.
Yes, correct. This was actually a surprise.
Does she know? Oh, so she doesn't even know you gave her this degree.
She doesn't even know.
Got it. Okay, so that complicates things a bit. So then, this then in defense of this is in some ways in defense of Dr. Bryant.
I had enough. All right, so this guy's an idiot. This guy's an idiot. I'll leave it there. Y'all can leave your comments. I just wanted to review this because this is ridiculous. This is getting out of hand. You got this guy. He wants attention. Clearly, she doesn't even know. This doesn't fall on her. Jamal Bryant. He thought it was connected because she sent him a cease and desist, which is sort of crazy. That usually comes from a lawyer. I don't know what she said in it exactly, like, oh, stop talking about me, refrain from using my name, which I don't know. She's a public figure. You can't tell someone not to discuss you online. Like, it's fair use. Like, that doesn't make sense. But Jamal Bryant was saying, like, yo, I had stopped. I wasn't talking about her. Then she comes and does the viral Netflix thing, okay. But then I get an email from this guy. This guy has a Gmail account. He hasn't even created an email for his institution, like for Indiana Christian University or whatever the name is, Indiana Southwest Christian University. There's no, like, it's probably no website for it. Let me see if there's a website for it. This is how funny we get. Indiana Southwest Christian University, private Christian university. Connect. Pittz Jaquel at yahoo.com. President Dr. Jaquel Pittz. Indiana Southwest Christian University offers educational programs for ministers. She's not a minister. Indiana Southwest Christian University offers only educational programs that prepare students for religious vocations as ministers, professionals, or laypersons in the categories of ministry, spiritual counseling, theology, Christian education, religious administration, sacred music, Christian art, canon law, church communication, theocentric psychology. Okay. And an immaculate program called Spirituality and Social Work. Indiana Southwest Christian University offers the following degrees: Associates of Arts, Associate of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Science, Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Theology, and Doctor of Education. I don't know how this school can offer I don't know if y'all can see that, but you can just look it up. It's IDSW University. .carrd.co. As someone who has a doctorate in education, I don't know how this school can offer a doctorate in education if it is strictly religious based, because the coursework for a doctorate in education is not just strictly religious based. So that doesn't make much sense to me. But yeah, I'm done talking about this. Some people need help.